Good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you also to our colleagues who are coming from London. The Secretary General will start with his opening remarks, and then, as usual, he will be very happy to take your questions. Secretary General.
Good afternoon. Our summit in Wales this week will take place in a changed world. It will address the challenges of a changed world, and so I expect it to be a crucial summit in NATO's history. This is a time of multiple crises on several fronts. To the east, Russia is intervening overtly in Ukraine. To the south, we see growing instability with fragile states, the rise of extremism, and sectarian strife. These crises can erupt with little warning, move at great speed, and they all affect our security in different ways. NATO's greatest responsibility remains to protect and defend our populations and our territories. We also need the capacity to manage crises and to work with partners to help build stability. So, at the summit, we will ensure that the alliance remains ready, able, and willing to defend all allies against any attack. We will agree a readiness action plan to make NATO more agile than ever. The readiness action plan responds to Russia's aggressive behavior, but it equips the alliance to respond to all security challenges, wherever they may arise. We already have a NATO response force. This is a multinational force which brings together land, air, maritime, and special operation forces. It can be deployed anywhere in the world for collective defense or crisis management. We will now significantly enhance the responsiveness of our NATO response force. We will develop what I would call a spearhead within our response force, a very high readiness force able to deploy at very short notice. This spearhead would be provided by allies in rotation and could include several thousand troops ready to respond where needed with air, sea, and special forces support. This will require reception facilities on NATO territory and pre-positioned equipment and supplies, command and control, and logistics experts. So this force can travel light but strike hard if needed. We will also look at possible upgrades to national infrastructure. That could include airfields and ports to support reinforcements if the need arises. And we will improve our early warning through an upgrade of our intelligence gathering and sharing. We will update our defense plans and enhance our training schedule with more exercises of more types, in more places, more often. The Readiness Action Plan will ensure that we have the right forces and the right equipment in the right place at the right time. That means more visible NATO presence in the East for as long as required. And it will make NATO fitter, faster, and more flexible to adjust to all kinds of security challenges. Not because NATO wants to attack anyone, but because the dangers and the threats are more present and more visible. And we will do what it takes to defend our allies. But readiness requires resources. So in Wales, I expect a commitment to increase defence investments as our economies recover, to spend the right amount of money on the right things, deployable forces, well-trained and with modern equipment, so that we share the responsibility of collective defence just as we share the benefits. At the summit, we will meet with President Poroshenko of Ukraine and make clear our support for Ukraine as it is confronted by Russia's aggression. We will discuss his reform priorities and take concrete steps to help Ukraine. The crises we face reach far beyond our borders. That is why our approach to security reaches beyond our borders too. We have an unparalleled network of partners around the world. In Afghanistan, we built the largest coalition in recent history, with 1/4 of the world's nations. And through our operations, we have become better at working together than ever before. In Wales, we will further improve the way we train, cooperate and consult with our partners, and strengthen and streamline the way we support countries which seek our help to develop their security institutions, so that we can project stability without always projecting large numbers of troops. We will also prepare a new chapter in our relationship with Afghanistan as our combat mission draws to a close. We have done what we set out to do. We have denied safe haven to international terrorists. We have built up capable Afghan forces of 350,000 troops and police. So our nations are safer and Afghanistan is stronger. We have planned a new mission to train, advise and assist the Afghan forces from next year, and it will be launched once we have the legal arrangements in place. So it is vital to see a conclusion to the electoral process in Afghanistan. A conclusion which is accepted by both candidates and by the Afghan people. So there is still a lot of work to do. The security landscape can change rapidly, but I'm confident that NATO will go forward from the Wales summit ready to rise to every challenge. And with that, I'm ready to take your questions.